Welcome teenies, new and old, to Wits and Crits. We're doing this thing. It's a roundtable Q&A style podcast hosted by me, your Dice Goblin and resident Vanilla Guard boy loving ship gremlin, Hayden, Daviau, and, I guess coffee lover is what we're adding to the list, because it is a coffee kind of morn afternoon. For those of you who don't know me, I'm the player for Aviana Kolesh, Regan Alis, and Fianula Ione. For those of you who are finding us for the first time, welcome. Hi, hello. We are Nat 19. We're a group of actors, performers, and improvisers who have come together through our love of storytelling and mutual nerdery. Today on my show, I have the one, the only, the beautiful, the talented, the wonderful Cody Hughett.
Here we go. All right, good.
Hell yeah, brother.
You started with something. I had to go.
Yeah!
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Cody Hughett. Hello. Some people know me as Summoner Blue. I play Quintus, Nicolo, and Casper at the moment. I do some other things. There's like double that and then some added on to that. We don't have to talk about that though.
You play a lot of mother trucking characters.
I do.
It's all good. We love it here. And I mean, we're kind of lying to the audience when we say we play Fianula and Nicolo.
Yeah, we don't do that. That doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah, so damn,
we just gotta
Ryuji,
move
tell
on.
him. We can't though. We love them too much. I'll never move on. Fio is literally branded on my skin.
I don't know how I'm ever gonna move on from Wacky Woohoo Pizza Man.
We miss our Wacky Woohoo Pizza Man. Actually, no, wait, because Dante is the Wacky Woohoo Pizza Man. He would be the Wacky Woohoo Pizza Delivery Boy.
Wacky Woohoo Pizza Delivery Man.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. He is a man. And he is a man.
Oh, yeah, dude. I will say, currently, out of any character that I've played, probably Nicolo's at the top of my list of who I would want to get with.
Dude, I get that. You're like, you look at your own character, you're like, damn.
It's like for a while it was maybe Mal just for the richness.
Bro, I get that.
It was kind of Stonewalker, but no, it's definitely Nicolo.
The amount's like, that boy got money? Hell yeah.
Here's the thing. Now Nicolo has money. You see how many banks he robbed? Let's go.
We robbed so many banks at the end of that game. Well, Marile was like, I have money.
Mamile just like, guys, we don't have to do this.
Like, but we want to.
Who else is... What, we're just gonna let this go back to the government? No.
I've been stealing for, 2 weeks, so yeah, I don't care.
I am venting out all of my frustrations from every bad delivery I ever did.
That's so real. It's also so real?
What is
asking
real?
Questions on this show. And
my
so,
goodness.
For those of you who need a little refresher, I have a couple of dice here. I have some pretty dice that I got at a convention recently that are Lord of the Rings themed, and they have the One Ring with the black script on each of them. They're really cool. So I'm going to roll a d4 to determine who I'm asking a question to, and then I'm going to roll a secondary die to determine which question. And sometimes I decide the dice don't matter because this is a D&D podcast. So I'm going to drop this little d4 into the fires of Mount Doom.
Each 4?
Both of us.
Oh my goodness.
And okay, this is ooh, yeah. So after Casper's alignment was changed to chaotic evil, Cody began playing him more aggressively. And the two parts of this is, what do you think would be the most fun or interesting alignment change for your characters? And how do you think that would change the way you play them? I mean, the easy answer is Evil Regan.
Evil Regan would absolutely be terrifying.
Dude, full necromantic Regan would be nuts. Anyway, continue.
We saw a little bit, not of evil Regan, but we saw a little bit of how Regan, how actually possessive Regan can be whenever they had the madness on them.
Mm-hmm. That was so fun.
And like going like either a lawful evil or a chaotic evil Regan would absolutely be similar to that, but cranked up.
Dude, I've thought about that. Like, I think about that session a lot because
It's a good session.
Oh my god, it was so tasty. I made Logan cry. It was awesome.
Madness?
Madness is
always
so
interesting.
fun.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I'm like, someday I'm gonna do that to players. When I break out of my little DM shell, I'm gonna be like, here's a madness table. Let's forkin' go, bro. But, no, I think for Regan, it would be just, yeah, a cranked up version of what we saw when she had the madness of I'm not giving anyone anything, because that changed such a fundamental part of her, because she is so giving and protective and loving of other people. But seeing like her be selfish and getting to play with that, it was fun. But
and
also
obviously
it was such
wouldn't
a
have been
character
like,
study.
Yeah, and obviously it wouldn't have been exactly that, right? If you're evil, you're not all of a sudden become extremely like selfish and possessive. But that could be an angle that you go down. Like it could be like the angle of, oh, why do I have to be selfless? I'm going to be selfish. It's kind of like what I did with Casper. Whenever he's gone into it, the biggest thing that's changed with him is he's being a lot more selfish. He's being a lot more aggressive, and it's very fun. It's very fun. I think that it's probably the best example of it for me for Casper is going just straight chaotic evil, because it is the exact opposite. The only thing that I think could have been a better like thought as far as like a better experiment in my head would have been something like True Neutral. I feel like I could have made that into a fun thing of just having Nicolo just all of a sudden just lose a bunch of personality all of a sudden. That might have been fun. But I feel like we've got the best one as far as like audience retention, like as far as people watching that.
Yeah, it's so interesting. Alignment changes is always so fun, because like alignment is kind of like, you know, a little wibbly wobbly. It's kind of, I like to use alignment personally, and every DM and every player has a different opinion on it. I like to use alignment as sort of like a base of like, here's something to build a character, like using it as like part of the foundation of their character to help flesh out their beliefs, why they do things a certain way and things like that, instead of like being so beholden to it's like, oh, I can't do something good because my character is true evil or whatever.
That's the biggest thing I don't like about alignment. I like alignment for DMs, and I don't like alignment for players. Because if you're a player and you're always thinking about your alignment, then you're gonna change what you do. But if you're a DM and you're looking at a player and you see their alignment, like kind of like how like Aaron does it, where if we do something against it, he sometimes very stealthily goes in and like changes our alignment a bit. And you know, it's up to us if we notice that. But it's very neat to have it that way. Also, again, it's just a fun little thing for this in particular, shifting your alignment, or for any of the spells that may or may not affect you if you're doing other things. I don't think that players should pay attention too much to alignment unless something like this happens.
Yes,
but it's good to always have it in the back of your head.
Yeah, it kind of, I like to think of it as like a guardrail, where it's almost like helping you like stay on the path of your character and like help to stay in character, if that makes sense. Also,
it
my
helps,
brain
especially in the beginning.
Oh yeah, especially when you're first like finding your character. A lot of people don't use it, but like I've been building like new characters recently. I was doing it last night, and using the bonds and flaws and like those little sections on the 5e character sheet.
It's so good.
It's so good, but it can help you find just like little things that your character does. And I'm like, we talk about this all the time, is like, what's a good way to build out your character? Alignment is like a good place to like start a foundation, and like having like just little quirks. Giving your character quirks is something that like I really like doing, because it makes them feel more like a person. So I know I'm going kind of off question here, but like that's something that like I did with Regan, something I've done with like like Avi and the others, and even if they're not on like my character sheet proper, I have those stored away. I have them because I love using them. And like Regan as like fully leaning into the spores shit, evil Regan could still rationalize using her spores, but using the necromantic stuff more aggressively.
Yeah.
But she could still rationalize it as,
I'm just returning them to nature. I don't see the problem here.
And
You're
again,
the one who's making it a problem.
To most parties, that's kind of how they would get it, and they were like, yeah, nothing's wrong with Regan. But for like a party that's been around Regan, is like, Regan's usually a lot more kind of tepid about this. They're usually a lot more like, oh, you don't like this part of me? Fuck. But like, no,
I guess I'll cry.
Yeah, and then but having Regan be like, I don't really care what you think about this. It's like, uh-oh.
Yeah. That's somewhere that I'm like, I'm nervous, depending how life treats her. I'm nervous for her, because she is so good that I'm like, this question made me think we're like a chunk in already, and I'm like,
oh, that's how the entire one's gonna be here. Everybody strap in.
Strap in. We chat.
Well, it's also like, I've gushed enough about it during Wits and Crits about the Quinn situation. Obviously, the bond, the bond and flaws and things I've used with that. But I did the same thing for every character. I love rolling for flaws and rolling for other things, because I like using my alignment. I like using the bonds. I like using the flaws to like think outside the box a bit. And again, one of the biggest things going into Casper was that people are like, you can't play like a lawful good rogue without being like Robin Hood or something. And I'm like, no, you can easily do that. You just have to have like, yeah, you just have to have your own sense of what law is. And you can make it fun. Like never be fully like tied into what your things are. Never think that that's going to be a limiter for you. Use it to your advantage, and that's how obviously alignment should be, in my opinion. Use it as a help, not as a crutch.
Yes, absolutely. Because
like, I can't do this because of my alignment. No, I can do this thanks to my alignment is a good way to look at it.
Agree.
It's very fun.
Again, I love talking character building with you because we have such like similar ideas about it.
We gotta come into a game together at one point. We gotta come into a game with like characters together.
If Spence hadn't hit me with a great idea for like DMS, I was gonna be like, buddy, Cody,
we'll have a time. We'll have a time. There's gonna be plenty of games. We'll have a time.
There's gonna be plenty of games. There's plenty of stuff.
We have plenty of things coming up in the pipeline where we can have characters interacting. It's gonna be interesting.
It's gonna be a good time. I'm so excited. So excited for the future. I'm gonna roll a dice.
It's for me, if that's okay.
No.
Okay, I'll roll again.
No.
So it's for me again. The dice decided. You know what? It rolled on 2. So I am going to ask the 2 question, and it makes sense because we were just talking about her. Regan, best parent Aylox. Despite how stern you can be with Krusk at times with his behavior and actions, other members get to tend to get off the leash with a slap of the wrist comparatively. Yup. Is this because she's picking favorites, or the magnifying lens is mainly on Krusk for his chicanery? Krusk is a whole time for Regan.
This is a very interesting question.
Yeah. Because the thing is, Regan notes everything that her insane party does. And she has opinions on it, especially it's when things are more outwardly, like, destructive, like when Casper's being a little shitter. She notices, and she has scolded Casper many a time. Regan's temper is always, she's the oldest sibling, and I play into this a lot. Where she's the oldest sibling, she's had to be responsible her whole life, and she is trying to live up to a lot of standards that she has set for herself, as children tend to do. I've tried to tell a very domestic story with Regan.
It's been great.
But Krusk is, as we know, Krusk, and he is a lot, and he is always getting into trouble very openly, if that makes sense. He is the most, like, I'm gonna go do drugs. Oh my god, my teacher is amazing. He is going to throw a fireball at you, but he's amazing. He's so fun. Oh, I'm connected to these gods, you see, right? Yes. So I'm going to use these forbidden powers and just fuck around with them. I don't know what they do, but why does that matter? This is my Krusk, you see.
It's spot on. I honestly thought Spencer came into the chat.
I feel like the vibes are there.
It's definitely interesting because the way I've always sort of seen it is that currently Krusk is the one that has the target on their back because Krusk has a target on his back.
Yes!
Krusk is literally the one that's in the most danger right now. So Regan's like, hey, buddy, how about you don't make it worse on yourself?
It's that he keeps fucking around with these things he doesn't understand, and because he's being told no,
he wants to do it more.
He wants to do it more, and I understand that. I get that as a human person, but like, he keeps fucking around with these things, and it's not that Regan, because Regan tried to be like, okay, we can explore it because we do need to understand what's going on with you.
And that was a really interesting thing with Regan when they finally gave into the okay, let's figure this out kind of thing, but you have to do it with me. And then he proceeded to not. Which is why she had to start kind of bending her own rule to try to. Because at the end of the day, she's just trying to protect him. And she's just trying to protect everyone around her. Because she puts that on herself. She's like, I need to be this. That's a big thing for her. She's like, I need to be everything for everyone. Might be a little in there. But it's very, you weren't here for it, but it's very early Quintus.
Really?
Whenever I was first playing Quintus, like one of the things in the back of my head was always, he doesn't trust anyone here but Miriam, so he wants to protect all of them. And so like there was a lot of things like early on where it's just like, I'll do this thing, I'll do that thing. Yo, don't step out of line. Don't do this, don't do that. And like he was being very controlling because I wanted him to be a flawed little mess. But like Regan's doing it in a much healthier way, which is where things are. Regan legitimately cares for them, and that's why they're doing it. And now Regan is getting to a point where everyone is sort of getting to their sort of kind of endpoint with this story, and no one is listening. And whenever it comes down to Regan Regan is that character in a story where you always look back and go, they were right all along, and no one listened.
That is literally Regan. It's so interesting because it's like, it's one of those where it's like, how do I verbalize this? And then you fully understand my characters, and that's why I'm like, I appreciate you, because we're like, so each other's characters, we get them. So I love having you on.
I think literally every other character I've ever made probably understands Regan a lot more than Casper, though. Casper is literally just like, oh, you're not being fair.
Yeah.
But I think literally every other character would be firmly on Regan's side.
Yeah, Casper frustrates Regan so much. Casper gets a lot of her shit because he gets a lot of shit from her, rather, because he's a fucking enabler.
I like that.
Fucking enabler. And Regan is like, it's not that I dislike this dwarf. I dislike his fucking behavior. Because he's driving me insane, for one. And he brings out her older sister fucking controlling side so hard. He and fucking Krusk make her just insane. I like that Regan
is the only character so far that has noticed any change in Casper.
She's watching these people like a fucking hawk. Of course she has. She's watching the only for anything.
That's like, what the fuck's going on over there?
No one else
What's
fucking
happening
believes
to you?
her. She's the bitch in the horror movie that no one listened to. And then she's gonna come back in campaign 2, grizzled as shit, be like, no one fucking listen to me.
Oh my god, with whatever thing ends up coming in from it, yeah.
Oh my god.
It's gonna be crazy.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to see where things go. I want it to be Thursday. But yeah, no, Regan tends to focus on because everyone in the party is like frustrating to an extent, and it's not that she doesn't like everybody. She loves everybody in the party so much.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, she notices the big problems, and that's what she focuses on. She's like, everyone's got their shit. I've got my shit. I acknowledge that I have my flaws. Of course, Kyra has stuff that frustrates me. Ajisai, love of my life, has shit that frustrates me. Maxine does. Devin, kind of. Not really. Devin's the least problematic of this fucking party, and I love her. Please don't ever leave me. I love you. But like, not in like a I love you way, but she just...
Of course.
She has found such a camaraderie with Devin. And she's like, I needed this. She needed Devin so much. Like, oh my god. Someone else who's not screaming or just doing something insane all the time.
I really like
how
I
love you.
As soon as Devin shows up, like half the party immediately gravitated to them. And now it feels like they've been there forever.
Yeah. Regan feels like she's found a lifelong friend. Like it's one of those friendships where you hang out with them for like a day and you're like, I feel like I've known this person forever. I have a friend like that who we've only known each other for like less than 6 months, and he and I just clicked. And we were playing ZZZ the other day, and we're just like fucking around. We're like, dude, I feel like I've known you my whole fucking life. But it's that kind of thing. That's how she feels with Devin. But the reason, like, to wind it back so we can get through more questions,
yes,
but
it's
course, just
Casper
and Krusk cause the most shit, and they're the most outwardly we're gonna be problems, and therefore Regan gravitates to that and is like,
no, my little ducklings, we're gonna come this way. Okay.
We're staying in this row.
We're staying in this forking row.
Oh, Regan losing her shit is my favorite.
I just want you to know, literally every other character that shares a brain inside my head is firmly on Regan's side.
Thank you.
Like, even
the Regan
Quinn
in my head is happy to hear.
Regan's
Dude,
side.
I'm gonna be real. There would probably be things that like frustrate Regan about Quinn.
Oh yeah.
But I think she would like Quintus quite a bit.
There is literally not a single thought in my brain that anyone freaking... I can't think of a single character.
And Regan would be friends.
They would be such like, I cannot believe that they're doing this again.
Oh my gosh. Your friends do this every day?
Are you looking for more friends? Do you want some? I can tell them to you.
Do you want mine? We can just go get some of that pizza stuff. That sounds good, honestly.
Yeah, we're going to start a new party. Goodbye.
All right, bye everyone. You go do whatever you're doing. We'll see you all in therapy.
It's so funny. That quote is, I'll remember you all in therapy.
Yes.
But everyone says, I'll see you all in therapy. Which, honestly, every D&D party is like, hey, have you thought about therapy?
Every D&D party needs therapy. That needs to be like a mandated thing for all downtime.
I feel like, so Logan, if you're listening, buddy, the Dragging Dagger, right, should have just, like, any adventuring guild should have, like, a sanctioned, like, therapist.
It's like a little confessional booth inside of a bar, only it's for therapy.
It's silence is cast so no one could hear shit or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But like,
little zone of truth under, so that if they're talking, they like might notice something about themselves and be like, oh, maybe I am the problem, or oh, maybe I am afraid of that.
Like, oh shit. Okay.
This is
Well,
great.
damn.
I love, a little off topic, I love thinking about like alternative uses to combat spells and D&D spells that would like be used in everyday activities.
Dude, I love doing that too. It's so fun.
So funny.
I love
So
thinking
great.
of like practical uses. It's great.
It's like a consenting zone of truth where somebody just talks out with somebody and learns stuff about themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
Regan's great.
yeah. Love Regan so much. If I ever have to
One of
say
my
goodbye to
favorite
her,
little
I'm gonna cry.
beans.
She's such a bean. I love her. She's trying so hard and not getting very far, but it's okay. I'll roll a dice.
It's for you, Cody.
It's for me.
It's for you.
It's for me.
It's for you.
It's for me.
It's for you. Ha!
Me?
So we were kind of talking about this earlier, and I was like, there's a question about that. Aviana has called Quintus stupid since the day they met. Damn right she has. How does he feel about all the insults? Has anyone mocked his intelligence before he left the land away? Do you think it could ever get to a point where he would ask her or anyone else to stop?
I think if it ever actually felt like it was mean-spirited, he would.
I mean, it is mean-spirited from all of
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like, if Quinn ever legitimately thought it was coming from somewhere of legitimate hate, he would probably be like, hey, that's enough. He would probably not take it from anybody but Avi and like people in the
Damn.
party. Whenever, it's a very unique thing. I've gushed about this enough, so I won't go into too much detail with it. It's literally been on almost every Wits and Crits I've ever done. Go watch all
Yep.
the old ones.
Go watch every episode.
But
We're great.
one of the things that Quinn has is that unless somebody proves themselves, he doesn't trust them or he doesn't know them. That was instant for Avi, though. Because Avi was someone that one of the people who was around him vouched for and had a actual story behind them where they were again a protector of the weak. So there was never a time in Quinn's like thoughts that he had to protect Avi. There was never a single thought in his mind of that. So it almost clicked immediately whenever Avi showed up. It's just like, oh, this is somebody that I can show like full respect to. So whenever Avi says you're dumb or anything like that, which didn't happen immediately, it was a bit of a slow burn.
It took her getting to know him go, oh, you're a fucking idiot.
And that's the thing. Quinn knows he's not smart. If he ever felt that Avi didn't have some kind of reason for it, he would probably be more offended. But most of the time, it is due to something he's either done or is about to do. So he's just like, yeah, it's not gonna stop him, but
It's like, he'll acknowledge that it was a dumb, but he'll still do it. Like, she
Again, though,
still feels so justified in calling his ass out about Diane. She's like, no, you're a fucking idiot.
oh,
You're
I
why we're in this
mentioned-
fucking situation, you dick.
I've mentioned so many times before they got on the robot. I can't think of the robot's name for some reason in my brain.
Sword of Damocles.
The Sword of Damocles. Why did my brain? Anyway,
Oh.
before they got on the sword, like I legitimately thought if Quinn was going to die, the first thought in his mind was going to be, he did bad, so he's gonna go to the bad place.
Oh man.
And so like there are things there with Quinn where he knows that he does bad and he knows he needs somebody in his life that will tell him what it is. That's in my headcanon what drove him closer to Miriam in the very beginning, because according to Aaron, Miriam was definitely not like completely feeding into Quinn's shit in the very beginning. I like to think that they became friends because Quinn knew that he could start trusting Miriam to actually tell him like it is, unlike most of the other people. We mentioned if anybody else had ever told him or anybody else ever did this. I think Miriam probably did.
Yeah, I believe it. I feel like Miriam would have called him on his shit, especially early Miriam.
And I think that his uncle and father probably did occasionally, but other than that, probably not. Unless there's something going on with unless there's something going on with a certain mom.
I mean, yeah, because if he's
with
in
a certain little boy's mom.
What do you mean?
Still have no idea what's going on there.
Dude, I need to catch up.
I've heard some things, and I'm like
oh wow. But especially because Quinn has been in a seat of nobility his whole life, the patriarchs of the city, anyone who's trying to like get something from the family, they're gonna butter them up. They're gonna be like, "Oh, aren't you smart?"
He's had his ass kicked. He's had his ass kicked all his life, and only recently, upon going on this adventure, would he probably have noticed all of it, because the people around him do not kiss his ass at all.
No, they kick it.
So that's why I think he really enjoys everybody around here, and that's one reason why I think he feels like everybody around him is closer than like maybe a lot of time would ever permit. He probably thinks of them similarly to how he thinks about his family, because only his family and Miriam have ever been that straightforward with him.
And I think that's important, just for growth in general, for like people. But like I've seen it in Quinn, which is cool. It's listen, he may not be Avi's favorite person, but she's come to respect him to a point.
That's a lie. We all know he's Avi's favorite person. I'm sure. Absolutely.
I will never forget their first meet. It was like, "What? You don't like knights?" It's like, shut the fuck up, Argo.
I'm never going to get over the fact that the first thing was, what, you don't like knights? And then you end up getting with a guard. It's very funny to me.
Yeah, that's why. And then Rory promptly shows up, like, not an hour later. I'm like, Avi internally, it was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. What the fuck is this doofus doing here? God damn it. It's like, in her mind, there's a little part in her mind that I need to share this. There's a little part in her mind. It's like, did Argo fucking manifest this into the fucking world? Oh, you don't like knights? Oh, here's your best friend. Shut the fuck
did
you,
Argo.
This is your fault somehow.
That Rory would be here.
Yeah, did he fucking know somehow? There's no way he knew. But I like to think he knew, because
before leaving on the thing, you just check the records of who left the city, and it's like,
yeah. It's like, oh, this is gonna be funny for me. Damn it.
Yeah, we've talked about Quinn and Avi a lot. I love their interactions. I miss them. Too bad we're never gonna see them again.
We're never gonna play them again, ever.
Yeah, too bad. But like it's very much all in good fun when it comes to the ribbing on each other.
Oh yeah.
And whenever it comes to Avi, I don't think, again, there is gonna be a point where he's gonna be legitimately mad unless he 1,000,000% thinks that he's in the right. Unless he's like, I did nothing wrong.
I look forward to that argument, because you know it'll be a fucking argument.
I feel like if it's ever gonna happen, it's gonna happen in the Land Away, and that's
1000%. Dude, I can't wait to put Avi in her least favorite situation.
It's gonna be so funny.
It's gonna be so good. I can't
Avi
fucking wait.
In like having to interact with not only nobility and people of high status, but of people who are not from their city. Because before it's like, I have a vested interest because it's my city, it's my people. Now it's gonna be like, these motherfuckers.
Oh yeah. Dude, I've been thinking about it since it's like, oh, we're going to the Land Away. It's like, oh, Avi's gonna hate it. I can't wait. good. Oh, and Girls Got Plans, and there's so many 4D chess out here in her mind, but you know, she's also like, I can just
Can't wait
stay
to go
home and garden, man.
Can't wait to go back to the land away, have Quinn go to his room, pull out a journal, and then just go, oh, there's a painting that I haven't seen in a while, and just like shows a picture of himself and Carrie's character's mom.
Oh my god, bro!
It would never happen, but it'd be funny as hell.
Oh my god, it was so good. So funny.
Just actually remember,
dude,
so it's like, wonder how she's doing.
Dude, it's the Wolverine. It's the Wolverine meme of him laying on the bed petting the picture.
The one that got away.
You would kill Carrie. Oh, that's so funny.
They only did this to hurt me, so I don't care. I'll go back. I'll
like,
answer
right,
in kind.
Bet, motherfuckers.
If I didn't already have my idea for the next character I was playing, I would totally get them back, but I already had the idea.
Oh yeah, you're like, we're already in too deep. It's so funny. I had another character idea for interim game. I was like, no, I've already rolled my stats and it's fine.
There was a part of me that just really wanted to play like the final sibling.
Dude, you would have murdered Carrie.
It would have been so
It would have been hilarious. It's like, you bitch. And the timeline would be all funky because, it'd be so good. Hell yeah. I'm gonna ask another funky question.
Let's go.
It's for both of us.
That's 2.
Let's see what that is. A twee.
Oh.
This is a quick one. This is a Quinn and Avi question. Do Quinn and Avi have any cute nicknames for their partners? No.
I don't think so.
No. I was like, it's gonna be quick. It's like Avi calls him dumbass a lot. But I don't know if that's cute.
I don't know. Actually, I've heard Avi say roar a couple of times.
Well, I don't know if that's like
that's kind of a nickname. That's kind of one.
That's like a nickname, but like she's called him that since they were kids. You know? But like they're a couple now, so
do you call him roar because you like it when he roars?
I'm killing you. Just I hate you. And I need you to know that right now in this moment. I hate you so much. And
I should hold off so that you don't get your boyfriend to roar at me. I've heard he's really good at it.
He does like to yell, so yes. I'm not taking your bait, Valor Belt.
Look, I can't get on. He can't get on you for being a bird anymore. He has to find something.
It's true. He's like, fucking damn it, I can't be.
Darn it, I can't do that because that's racist
now.
now.
I can't be racist anymore, so.
I learned that racism was bad.
Shocking. Well done, glad you got there. You're what, 29? Fuck you. You stupid privileged asshole.
But no, I don't think that he has anything for Lexi. He thinks Lexi is a cute name anyway.
Yeah, Lexi's already cute.
It would probably be the same thing with the Rory situation. He'd probably just be like, say Lex or something, maybe.
I mean, Avi already calls Lexi Lex, so it's already there.
Yeah, like I don't think that there's anything there too much. It feels like the other two in the relationship are more the ones that would come up with pet names.
Yeah.
It feels like Rory would like want to say a pet name, look at you, and then like be like,
It's like, I don't want to get stabbed today.
And then like it feels like one day Lexi's gonna wake up being all quirky and be like, says something off the top of her head.
Yeah, it's true. I'm like, I feel like Roar would definitely want to give her a nickname or a pet name and then think better of it. Lexi, I think, would just do it because she is a beautiful, chaotic being. But yeah, I think that answers that.
That's a good answer. Good answer.
That's good answer. Good answer. Good answer.
It's another one for you.
Oh.
We already asked that one. Okay. Quintus, Haros's favorite himbo valor build. I love these nicknames.
That's my middle name.
It's true. That is his legal middle name.
That's my canonical little middle name.
He didn't think anything of it until Haros was like, "Hey, buddy, what's up?" It's like,
so
"Oh,
that's why mom named me that."
They knew I would be a himbo. Crazy. It's like, that's not the part of the name you should be. Whatever. Was the decision to send Winchester back to the land away a trauma response to what Velis did, or was it always the plan after leaving the cauldron?
It was always the plan. When it comes to Winchester, literally the only thing that we can do is either find a way to awaken Winchester to give them back what they lost, or get Winchester to a position that they are safe. And currently, the worst thing that could possibly happen is if like Winchester were to die in front of Quinn. That is legitimately like whenever the dad was dead and whenever the mom was gone, Winchester was the last part of them. And that's how Quinn's always sort of felt about Winchester's like, this is the last part of my mom and dad. And that's why he kept Winchester so close to him, and why he like learned the way he did. It's very much probably a trauma response in that, but seeing what happened and seeing him lose that bit of himself, and like probably Quinn like watching him afterwards, like in the stables and stuff, is just like, you need to go home, buddy. And now that Praxis exists, now that he knows that he can be like at least as if not a little bit worse off, at least as useful as he was, he's like, I need to get Winchester home. I need to get Winchester away from all this. And there's also the added bonus of most people in the Imretia, most people that know Quinn in this area know him as a knight on a horse.
Yeah.
And now that he is covering his face, and now that he is doing all this different stuff, it's like, it's another like added thing to where it's like, no one's gonna recognize me with this. I feel like there's a lot of things, but it's mostly just he cannot stand the fact of losing Winchester. He knows it's gonna happen one day. Winchester's old, but he cannot stand it. As soon as I keep thinking back to the animatic that Den made. Where seeing like blood in the snow, and it's just like immediately Quinn's just like, I would die if this horse died right now. Yep.
Like, okay, cool.
So a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. It is to make sure Winchester is safe.
No, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense to me. Now he has a magical horse who hates him, so good luck with that.
Yeah. I don't know what to do about that, man.
I mean, I understand that horse. That's all I'm gonna say.
What? I don't know what to do.
It's like, what do I do about that?
This next one is for me.
Let's go. Let's go.
It can only go. All right. Aviana Evanescence Kalesh.
That's your legal middle name.
That is my legal middle name. That is, I just never told anyone that before. Now it's on the internet.
I saw it on your birth certificate.
I have a birth certificate?
Yeah, while you guys are still in the tournament, I asked around. Should I have told you this before now?
Yes! Yes, you should have! The fuck?
Do your thing. It'd be so funny. And
oh my god!
Oh yeah, I found all your legal documents.
Those exist? Oh, I have a boyfriend to talk to. And oh, he's in trouble. The fuck you mean those exist? It's like, yeah, it says who your dad is right here. It's like, are you fucking kidding me?
It really weirded me out because it says it's something like Valise.
No fucking shit.
I'm playing it.
It's like, All right, I'm killing myself in Minecraft. Let's go. Oh, time to fall upon my own sword. Jesus, motherfucking Christ.
Either that or alternate universe from the alternate universe. So that someone named Fenient?
Oh my god, the Fanians are fucking bad, dude. It's like, where the fuck did the Elvish heritage come from? The fuck? I don't know. Fucking.
I don't know.
Anyway.
He's like some kind of weird allegory for a vampire or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. When your stepbro almost killed himself with a 9th level Idomancy spell and was essentially reborn in the form that he was meant to be, was there a hint of jealousy of how normal he looked and how basically how simple it was for him to sort of adjust? Yeah, I've thought about this a lot, especially in the aftermath of it. At the time when it was happening, she was deeply distraught because she loves Miriam so much. Like, not in love with him, again, reiterating that. No matter what my husband wants. It's forever my favorite meme. He's like, she could do so much better. Miriam's right there.
We all understand, Alejandro.
We all understand. I, as the player, understand, okay? I talked about this last time Brayden and I played God of War. I talked about it. I was like, listen, if he hadn't said one thing, he might have had a chance. He lost her with a single choice, like, with a choice of words. He lost all chance with her. At the party at Mordain Summit.
Gimme.
Oh, I don't know if I've said it on episodes, but
Give me after.
I'll tell you after. Remind me. But he had a shot. She was thinking he was cute.
Oof.
But then he said a certain thing, and then she's like, nope, never mind. I can not give him what he wants.
Oh my god.
I don't want to be that for him. Yeah, man. There could have been Avi Miriam. Oh, yeah. And it's so simple, too.
It always is. It always is like something you just say in character or do in character. Oh.
Oh, yeah. So enjoy that juice. But was it... Avi is conflicted about what she is. She feels monstrous, and she does view herself as a monster. Does not think she is beautiful, does not think she is, which she's incorrect, but you know, yeah, I can know that as the player, because she's hot, but, Avi thinks, she does not have a high opinion of herself, and, there is a part of her where she wishes she could just become something else. But at the same time, she gets to fly. Flying is so natural to her. Getting to, and as she's gotten stronger, you know, as the Hanyo race changed, but as she's gotten stronger, and she's able to fly faster, fight harder, and like really like lean into, like use those things, because flying is so cool. It's freeing for her. It feels right. It's this beautiful ability that she has that she loves, but it comes with the cost of being an outcast and being looked down upon. But now Miriam is a human, and so there is definitely jealousy there that he got to change. It was a horrible experience of how he changed. He literally like decayed in front of her. But he
There's
adjusted
always going
to
to be
it.
the thing of the demonic stuff left them. I still have this demonic energy in me.
Yes.
I still have this from what her perspective might be, this evil in me, because you don't know anything about what happened with your mom and how you were made and everything. She
thinks she is more like her mom than she knows. And Miriam being a Hattislin was something that she felt she could connect to him about, is that we are both seen as outcasts, but we're more than people believe us to be. And she feels like she's lost that with him, which is why I think, wow, just thinking about it now, I was like, oh, that's why she's been doing that. That's why she's been like holding him closer than normal and trying to really maintain a semblance of a relationship with him, because she's lost that point of connection, but she still cares very much for Miriam.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
It's like they lost that little bit, or at least they think they have. So now they're like, I don't want to lose this person, but I feel different. I need to hold them closer so I don't feel different anymore, which in turn is going to make them feel different.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah. That's interesting, huh?
That's very interesting.
I just had that revelation talking about it. Wow,
That's
it's like
so
therapy.
sad.
Isn't that fucking sad, bro?
Oh, I love Avi. Avi is great. I love her so much.
I love her so much, and it's talking about, this is why, like, I love the shows, like, let's talk it out. Let's talk about these characters, because I didn't think about that until just now. Until just this fucking second, I went, oh, sweetheart, that's why you're doing what you're doing. Girl's got layers, and that's why I love playing her so much. She's not just Angry Bird. She's got so much shit going on that is just packed so deeply. And I've already started building her Campaign 2 playlist, because after we finished the epilogues, a lot of shit kind of came up for me, and I was like, oh no, I know why you did what you did at the very end of the epilogue. Oh my god.
If we ever come back to Vestige, which then there's no track record for it, guys, but if we ever come back to Vestige, I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of things.
There's gonna be a lot for the highest standard to unpack, and I'm very excited about it.
We're all at like some of the most emotionally vulnerable we've ever been.
Like, it's tasty.
At first, this was just a Miriam thing of, oh no, I've been fucked over by this one character that my whole, like, a big chunk of my life is gone. And now it's like, oh no, a lot of us have had that happen to them, and a lot of us now understand that, and there's a lot we need to fear and also understand now.
The big bad is loose, and he could be anyone, and that's fucking terrifying. And I love it.
It's so interesting.
So good. Oh, we have to be on our toes at all times, and I can't fucking wait, man. Oh, it's so good. Okay.
I've mentioned this.
Go ahead. I'm gonna roll a question.
I've mentioned this in streams before, but I always feel like when it comes to all of you guys, like playing with me in, like, especially Vestige, but in other games as well, that I am not like you guys. I'm not someone who has any sort of like training or any sort of like anything for like actually doing voice work or doing like acting or anything like that. And I always feel like whenever I'm around you guys, the only advantage I have in that is that I don't have to worry about any sort of thing like coming on to me like from my other works or anything like that, because I don't have any. So one of the things I always give myself as an advantage is I get really into the headspace of my characters, like super in there. And I think you are very similar, which is one reason why
we are very much alike.
It's one reason why us talking like these things, like we are some of the ones that get super far into the heads of our characters, where in the moment it does feel like any sort of thing that happens to them feels like it's happening to us. And I feel like that's why whenever we talk about things, we learn things or we do things or we figure things out. It's very fun.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I always appreciate is I'm like, it's nice to have such a kindred spirit in terms of like how we both approach our characters. Is like, I feel like a lot of people could be like, oh, Hayden's the one who always cries in their characters. I'm like, well, yeah, of course I do. Because I am in the moment. I am, being this character, and they're all in my head somewhere. So what happens to them is going to, like, it's not going to stick with me and affect me, like, after sessions, but those moments are going to live in my head, and, like, I am embodying my characters so fully that it's like, fuck, yeah, of course, having Velis crawl out of Avi's, like, skin is gonna give her a fucking panic attack. Of course I'm gonna react. Of course these emotions are gonna be so big. And that's what I appreciate so much about how you approach your characters, too, is that, like, we live in them,
Yes.
And it feels like a lived experience, and it's great. It's so
I feel like I have to, because everybody around me is so good at like acting, like being their characters. It's like if I don't jump into the headspace of every single character I play, I feel like I'm not holding up my end of the bargain here. So...
You're like, I need, like, well, you succeed. You do a great job. So I love
think
Cody
so
characters.
as well.
Oh yay!
You're like, I'm amazing.
I'm pretty good. I like it.
Yeah.
People enjoy watching me and people enjoy playing with me, unless everybody's lying to me.
Nope. I'm like, I've definitely become like a better role player, like being in Nat 19, and it's like, it's made me a better actor. Like, honestly, doing so much like role play and stuff like that, I'm definitely a better actor, I think, because I'm improvising every fucking week, multiple times. But no, everyone brings it. It's so good. Okay, this one's for both of us. I'm gonna done that one. Nicolo Eurobeat Bernardino and Fianula, the devil formerly known as the Yamato Ione.
That's our middle names.
Those are our legal middle names. I didn't even know I had one, but you know.
It's it on your birth certificate.
I have one of those! What the fuck? That's weird. That doesn't make any fucking sense, dude.
I don't know what to tell you. It's just right here.
This is fake, right? This doesn't make any sense. I was born in the hells and then reborn in the what?
Oh yes, it's signed by Satan right here.
Oh, I can't read, so I just have to believe you.
There's just a picture of Iron Mouse at the bottom right.
You know what? If anyone was gonna like be Fio's boss, it would be Mousy. Yeah, I can see Fianula and Iron Mouse getting along. Perfect. Having talked to Mousy, yeah, no, I can see it. Y'all defeated the end boss, the big bad Makia Smelly, forger of the greatest flatulence. What are some of your favorite moments of the campaign?
First off, the end boss wasn't Machiavelli. The end boss was
Lord of Frostlight.
The Lord of Frostlight.
I can't believe how we defeated them. That was nutsoid. But favorite moments from the campaign.
One of the things that always comes to me early was whenever everybody went down and it was just Fio and Nicolo up.
Yes.
Like fighting against the one like piece.
The Echo of Ambition.
Yeah, the Echo. And like the idea of just like learning about Fio in that moment, that there was something either about them or in them. And then in my opinion, the way that I played Nicolo for basically the remainder of that was, there are things trying to take something from Fio. I will never let that happen.
Yeah.
That was something that I literally, like, from the beginning was like, anytime the Echo ever showed up, people thought it was just because he hurt my car. But it was a lot to do with the moment there where it's like, he's trying to steal our Fio. So that was fun. That was a very fun one.
That moment always kind of lives in my head. Talking to Dante for the first time as Fio is something that kind of lives there, because that's so important to her, because it was finally a connection, and one that wasn't just trying to kill her for what she was. And if she had been allowed to, like, if she had just gone with him, it would have sucked and she would have been hurting about it. But that would have been the most positive version of what had been going on, you know what I mean? Like, everyone else was trying to kill her for the Yamato, but Dante was like, you just have to stay with me. And if that had been the case, if Arden hadn't been as like, that's my buddy, like, that's my girl about it, she probably would have been like, okay.
It felt like in that moment, Fio also sort of had their own thing of this is somewhere where I can belong.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Kind of thing. And like obviously to Theo, that's super important. And this is somewhere where I can not be a burden because of the thing that's inside of me. Which is, again, Theo's never a burden. This is what Theo always likes.
Mm-hmm.
And this is somewhere where I basically feel that maybe I was always supposed to be here. And if Dante would have showed up in the very beginning, there's not a doubt in my mind that Theo wouldn't have just been like, let's fucking go, dude.
Yeah,
let's get out of here.
She would have, she absolutely would have gone with him. And she was, she was sad about it, but she was prepared to go with him. Like, before we did the fight, she was preparing herself to go with him. Because the echo of ambition and everything surrounding the Yamato was so dangerous for her friends that it hurt her to see them getting hurt because of what she was. That if that was the way to protect them and to also be of help to somebody and help them be closer to a piece of their family, going with Dante was kind of a no-brainer in that sense. But because her friends were fighting so hard to keep her around, she felt so loved, man. So fucking loved. A lot of her lashing out at Nicolo, I wouldn't even say it was like lashing out, but like kind of giving him shit. It's like she was under a lot of stress and she didn't know how to handle it. So she was finding ways to she was trying to, and unsuccessfully, she was trying to emulate what Manny and Arden did.
Well, the funny part of it was that Theo only really did that near the end of the campaign, like in the last third or maybe even fourth.
Yep.
So the way I've always thought of it is that whenever they started sort of riffing at Nicolo was whenever they were finally felt close enough to do it.
Yes. Theo's sassy. She's always been sassy.
Exactly. And that's where my brain always was. But in the moment me playing Nicolo, I have to be like, oh, what you talking about? What's going on?
No, she was finally comfortable. You're right on the money. She was finally comfortable enough to give him shit. And we often take out our stuff on the people who are closest to us because we feel comfortable, right? So it's part of that. And then also it's like, fucking love Nicolo, now I can give him shit.
I'm trying to think of me. I'm trying to think of a time that an NPC affected Nicolo more, not like a bad NPC, because obviously any of the order that he was with or any of things like that could definitely be a thing. But I feel like the only time Nicolo ever got close to an NPC enough for it to really affect how he thought going forward was Mama.
Yeah, Mama Marigold, the fucking queen.
I feel like they were the most influential, good aligned NPC for Nicolo. And it's very funny to me, because obviously it sort of planted the idea in his mind whenever they first were saying things like you gotta take care of him, of Marile and blah, 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 and stuff, and he's just sitting there oh, they're just saying things, but then the world comes to an end and he's like, maybe they're actually being somewhat, I should listen. Other than that, most of the time it was Nicolo reacting to stuff happening to all of you guys. The only time it was ever about him was whenever the order was involved, and that happened so super quick that obviously they couldn't have been around much because those characters were characters that were going to be in the next quote-unquote game, so that we were never going to be allowed to really do much with them. But to be able to play into that sort of backstory for DMC4 is very fun. To be the guinea pig for the crazy freaking transformations all of them go through. Also, potentially the namesake of what's-his-fuck's daughter. That's so fucking crazy. I never knew.
I clocked that frame one as soon as we found out you were dealing with Agnes and Order of the Search, and I'm like, no fucking shot. This is the wildest fucking coincidence. Yo, wait, and then it took y'all till the end of the campaign!
I never knew she was even anything to him.
It was so funny.
I need to actually finish DMC5.
Dude, DMC5 slaps. It's so good. I'm actually planning to go through and like play some of the games just on my own time.
The only DMC games I've beaten are 2 and 4. So I've gotten a little bit into 5, and I've seen someone play through 3, but I've never played 1, and I've never beaten 3 or 5. And I haven't played the DMC Devil May Cry.
Sorry, just got an email that.
That's fine.
Sorry. Okay. Back to the show. Sorry.
Oh no.
I'll tell you after. It's very good. Just
Oh yes. Let's go.
It's very good.
Let's go. What's some other questions we got?
Ask another question.
You gotta tell me what's going on after this.
I can't. It's NDA.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh yes.
I can't. It's really good though. What the fuck? Sorry. That's a good thing. We're gonna ask another question. Woo! I'm keeping this in. Holy shit. Okay. I'll answer this question. So it's the last one for me. To Hayden. With Shadows Over Velda, which is the campaign that I play with Jonah Scott and some other VTubers and voice actors, you now have a third character that has a form of a relationship with a bratty brother figure in their party. Are there any other archetypes you see yourself drawn to? I think the original version of this, I think Brayden might have edited this, but thanks, Brad, I love you. I think the original version of this question was like, why do you think this keeps happening to you? And honestly, the version of that, I think it's, I think I just kind of attract that as a person.
Are there any other bratty older siblings I want to play? Meow.
Meow. Are there other archetypes you see yourself drawn to? Yeah, so I definitely, I don't know, I see people being brats or like kind of like snotty, and I want to poke the bear. I want to understand what makes that person tick, and I think that's why I keep ending up in situations like that. Like, we have Casper, Krusk, Quinn to an extent, Miriam a bit, with Theo.
Theo's
not
more the
really.
bratty than the brat.
Theo is the brat, which is great. I want to play that more. But I tend to be drawn to like the calmer characters, or the ones that like aren't what you see at first. You know, like the characters who have a lot more going on under the surface. Which is why I think I am kind of drawn to like the bratty younger brother characters, because there's usually so much more there, and if you just take the time to kind of unfold those layers, you really get to learn about those characters. And I think as a player, I'm drawn to it because I love having my my castmates get to talk about their characters. I love poking that bear. I love essentially I'm undoing the croissant, you know, like taking out the layers, like, okay, what else is going on? Where does that come from? Things like that.
I'm very much looking forward to the next 2 of your characters that I get to play around and seeing how they fit around.
I'm very excited for Pathfinder because I'll tell you after, I'm like, I might need to change my class simply because of a similarity to another character in Nat 19. I'll have to figure that shit out. But I'm very curious how our characters are gonna play in in both campaigns, because our Pathfinder characters and our interim game characters are so vastly different.
So different.
And also very different from anything we've played in Nat 19, for me at least.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm excited. I'm very excited.
I played somewhat similar things in the Pathfinder. The other character is the polar opposite, I think, of any character I've ever played. But I'm also looking forward to Pathfinder, because we had that one game, and while it didn't tell us much, because obviously we're going to play differently than that, it did tell me that I think that we're gonna get along in Pathfinder, and that's gonna be fun.
I think Pathfinder we're gonna get along the best. I'm so fucking excited. Oh, but I think that kind of answers the character. It's like, it gives me something to kind of latch onto, and it's almost like it gives me something to kind of grab onto and gravitate towards, and then I can be like, okay, but what else is in there? Let's open this treasure box.
It's also a really good bond to have with someone, because like if you are gonna gravitate toward like either a younger brother trope character or something like that, you get to have a loving relationship with somebody that isn't like the standard loving relationship with somebody with a character, and that's a really good way to like go into things. You get to have like a vested interest without people being too weird about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because especially in our situation where like people watch us doing all this, it's like we've seen it with Miriam. There's a lot of shippy people.
I mean, I'm a shippy people, so I get it.
I am as well. I get it.
Listen, I can see the potential. It's just not going to happen.
I'm very interested to see what Miriam said.
Anyway. Yeah, it's so funny. Brayden and I talked about it during last time we played God of War, and they texted me. I was like, yep, that's it. They're like, I knew it!
Oh, no.
Yeah. So we got a couple more questions here.
Let's go.
Let's ask a couple more. It's for both of us.
Both of us? That's me.
Okay. I'm gonna... Cody and Hayden. When you burp, when it
I'm
comes
Cody
to
and Hayden.
You're one of those people. You're Hayden, right? Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hayden Daviau Saab. I play Aviana Kolesh. I play Fionnuala, or I did.
What was that laugh? When it comes to designing a character, how do you start the process? Does it come from a simple broad idea or a very niche specific thing? Like a pendant that character wears or something, and then you flesh out from there. For
it's not
me,
really like a pendant or anything like that. That's not like how I would go about it.
Sometimes it depends. Sometimes it's like a concept, or sometimes it's like I want to play this specific class, and then I kind of build from there. Or I want to play this race. Okay, how does that race function in this world? Or sometimes, in terms of shadows got brought up. So this is kind of like a good jumping off point. Is sometimes there's a combo of races or race and class that tells the story you want to tell.
Yeah.
Like in terms of shadows, it's Kalashtar and Scriptor. That's a really fun combo because that already has like some baked in story that I can already kind of pull on, because it gives me a really fun jumping off point. I was like, oh, what would a combo of that look like? Oh, they could do XYZ with it. And for like Avi, like that sort of thing is like, okay, can I be a Raven Demon? And Logan's like, yes, actually. I have a class, I have a race for that. And I'm like, what if we do this? Okay, and immediately it starts like, the story kind of starts coming to me. So it really depends. And it also depends for me what kind of literature I've been consuming.
Oh, yeah.
That is a huge part. I'm building, I've already said I'm doing some solo D&D on like my, on my channel. I had been wanting to play with the 5.19 Ranger for a while and really see it like played and like try it out. I wanted to play a Ranger because I'd been playing one in Baldur's Gate and I really liked it. I was like, oh, what would it be like to play a good ranger in 5e? Oh, Logan just dropped that. Let me play the 5.19 ranger. And also,
we recommend playing the 5.19 of almost anything because it's a lot
Highly
better than
recommend.
most of the base things, and go and do it. It's
also
great.
you get legacy traits. Legacy traits, fuck, dude, they're great.
Oh yeah.
I'll tell you the character that I'm building right now. I love them so much.
It's essentially a completely new system at this point.
It's basically a new system. It's great. To shamelessly plug our shit, it's a great system, and it makes character customization so
good.
So much more hands-on. Instead of be like, this race does this, I know what this one does. It's like, but what if you mix and match and customize? And that's what players have been doing forever, but now it gives you like a proper system to do it.
No two characters are going to be the same in 5.19. It doesn't feel like. Even if you play the same class, same race, you can still be different.
Oh yeah, and I'm so excited about it. And I'm using all like 5.19 stuff for like my solo D&D, which is why like the answer to this question is changing over time, because like it's the combo of race and class, but also now my race can be a lot more like I can pull from different places. And I'm very excited to see how it changes my playstyle. But sometimes it's like niche things where sometimes I've like had a dream about it, like, you know, you have weird dreams and you're like, I want to do that in a campaign.
Yeah.
Sometimes it comes from little places, or you'll see something walking. Like I wanted to play a druid because I'd been spending a lot of time outside and getting into, I love flowers. I love flowers so much. I might be allergic as shit. I'm obsessed with making floral dice. That was maybe a little bit of the influence for Regan, is I'm like, I want to play with more flowers. I love flowers. And then it was like, Circle of Spores. This shit fucks. Yeah, let's go. I like being a bit of a flower child. So like there's different influences pulled from different places, I think.
With me, it's different. And I think that mine is unfortunately is not going to be very helpful to a lot of people listening, unless you play a lot of D&D like I do.
Yeah. What?
It is
us play a lot of D&D? That's crazy.
When it comes to my new characters, I always base them off of, first off, the kind of music I'm listening to really is a big influence. I'm a very like I always just sort of chill out and listen to music, and be like, oh man, that's kind of how I'm feeling right now. That's a big influence on me. Another influence on me is sort of just kind of what I'm struggling with usually jumps into a character whenever I'm like making them or playing them. But the biggest thing that influences my characters are my current characters.
Yes. I so get that.
It literally comes from whenever I was playing Stonewalker, I was playing someone who was sort of quiet at first, very, very druidic, quiet, kind of natured. Turned out to get a little bit louder as the party kind of dwindled down. But after that, I wanted to play somebody more in your face and loud. So then I played Noelle, who is very in your face and loud. But before that, we set up an idea for Assassin, who very much was going to be just somebody I wanted to play more of a swordsman, more of a what I wanted from Fate, actually. So it kind of didn't have much of an influence. But while I'm doing that, I also get thrown Malaclips because we were given like certain sheets, and I'm like, how would I play a fighter? So then I played Malaclips. I'm like, I want to actually play a fighter though. I want to play a real fighter. So then I played Quinn.
Yeah.
So a lot of it just comes from how I'm feeling from my current character, and that's the most it comes from, and what I want to do from then on. And it sort of is just that. Again, little bits from what I'm going through at the time. Like if I feel like certain insecurities or something are coming at me, I throw those into characters.
Mm-hmm.
If I feel like certain music is driving me one place or another, I sort of like gravitate toward that when I'm thinking about those characters. And my next two characters I feel are going to be very much in that same vein. They're polar opposites. They are absolute polar opposites of each other, but they're both sort of got a little bit of whatever I was struggling with at the time. And I didn't even know, for the Pathfinder character, I didn't even know I was struggling with it until way later. There's a part of them that I messed about with in the one little bit we did of the Pathfinder beginner box that I'm just like, no, that's an actual problem I have.
Dude, sometimes that happens. Sometimes this has happened to me with multiple characters that I've played, is you don't realize you've been struggling with something until you start playing a character and you go, oh my god.
There's no
That's
better,
a part of me I need to nurture. Holy shit.
There's no better like response for me for that statement than Ashley was, and like that led me down a humongous rabbit hole until we see where I am today. So like, yeah, it's mostly how I'm feeling at the time, what I'm struggling with at the time, but a big influence is what I feel like I'm missing from my current characters. It's like what I want to do with those characters.
I super get that. It's I mean, playing Avi, playing someone so like angry and pent up, that was the kind of the inspiration for Regan being so soft and being so warm and welcoming. And same with like Theo. Theo kind of was born, the Theoisms were kind of born from her intelligence being her dump stat. I'm not gonna lie, that's where Theo came from. She originated from that 4 that I rolled that one time.
Yeah.
But it's also like, I love to challenge myself with characters. It's like, okay, but also it's like, I've been doing this. I want to play something different. My heart kind of needs like a little, almost like a palate cleanser, or it needs to do something different, because that's just me as a creative. And it's, I don't know, I find doing that and like kind of listening to what you're like, what you kind of need in terms of like character role play, can create such different characters and such unique experiences as a player. We've talked on the show about like there being through lines of characters before. A lot of my characters have a paternal kind of tendency. Theo, not so much. Theo's just very caring. But that's a part of me that I think will always find its way into different parts of my characters. It'll just come out in different ways. And I think that's just part of like being it's part of these characters just all coming from us in different ways.
Definitely.
Is they're going to care about certain things in different ways. They're going to express themselves about certain feelings in different ways. But at the end of the day, it all comes from you. Because even when you're playing a villain or things like that, that villain cares about something. It can be completely selfish, but they care about something. Everyone cares about something. And that is, in terms of character creation, that's like something, that's a thread anyone can pull on. It's like, what does this character care about?
That's one reason why I said earlier that the two of us like have that kind of thing where we put a lot of ourselves into things. When you were talking about the intelligence thing, that's something where you saw that 4 and you're like, oh, I'm gonna make them real dumb, but at the same time you did give reasons for it. You did put yourself in those positions and you went with it. And again, I mentioned the Ashley thing, but then I also look at Casper, and anybody who looks at me and then looks at Casper and says that's a character I always play is dead lying to your face. I was playing a Leaf, and with a Leaf, I loved a Leaf. I loved them to death, but I didn't feel like I was having fun anymore as a Leaf. Once I took care of the big thing in a Leaf's life, I'm like, I don't know what to do anymore. I don't know how to have fun as this character anymore. And it almost led me to being like, kind of mean-spirited a bit with it, because I'm just like, maybe they're just gonna be broody, maybe they're not meant to have fun anymore. So then I make Casper, whose entire thing is, I just want to have fun. And I didn't think for a second it was going to actually be good. Casper was, in my opinion, going to be, we're going to get through the end of this campaign. That was my Casper thought, is I want to have someone I can get through the campaign with. And then Casper ends up being one of my all-time favorite characters I play, just because of how fun he is.
That's the thing, is like, it's listening to yourself. It's like, what do I need to have fun in this campaign? And sometimes it is to do it for the fun of it. It is to do the fun thing.
He helped me recenter myself and be like, no, I really love this game. I really love role playing with my friends. I really love doing these things. And obviously I knew that, but like, it was very much it's almost like a second wind whenever I started playing Casper. It was like, I don't have to have something extremely complicated. I don't have to have something completely like in my own psyche. I could just make a character that wants to have fun, and eventually they will just speak for themselves. And Casper is one of those characters that now, whenever I play them, I always get that little bit of a kick that puts me more in a better mood. And it's like, I needed Casper. Casper's great. Same thing with Nicolo. I came off of Quinn to go to Nicolo because Nicolo, I wanted to play someone who had like more of a responsible head on their shoulders.
I get that. I so get that.
It's very fun. It's very fun too. This was a great question.
Oh, it's so good. And also, you learn so much. I find, and you can correct me, like, if you feel differently, but you learn so much from each roleplay experience and from each character. Like, characters that I play now, coming off of Avi, I'm like, I've learned so much. I've become I've become a better role player, become a better improviser, and I can approach things differently. And each character is a new experience, but you can take what you've learned from all those other characters and all other interactions. And if you're willing to learn, obviously, which everyone should be, in my opinion, but that's my opinion.
Yes.
If you are willing to learn from different experiences and grow as your characters grow and as you play more characters, oh my God, you're going to thrive. And I feel like it makes things more memorable too, because it makes you reflect on those characters and go, oh wow, I remember doing this, or I remember that conversation with Nicolo or Quintus or Alif. Like, Regan was so sad to see Alif go. You brought up Alif and I wanted to bring this up. Regan was so sad to see Alif go because she loved Alif, but she understood that it was time for her to hang her hat up and it was time for her to just kind of settle down. And Regan's starting to feel that. Like, I've kind of been wondering,
doesn't have to be there always has to be an endpoint for a character.
Yes, I think there being an endpoint for a character is really important. And sometimes you can see what it is and sometimes you don't. I've had some revelations about Regan and what Regan wants to do recently that I need to talk to Aaron about, because I'm like, just personal revelations for her. It's like, wow. Okay. All right. That's what you're telling me. And this comes up for me both like in writing and in performance. It's like, sometimes your characters just tell you something.
Yes.
Like, I've started doing like short stories again and just like writing to keep myself like active and doing stuff. And sometimes I'll just write a short story between doing like tedious work just to keep my creative juices flowing. And it's a lot of that. It's a lot of that in my role play. It's like, oh, this is what you need right now. And this is what this character is. That's why I don't go into a campaign deciding my character's sexuality. I let them tell me when they're like, as I'm playing.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, oh, this character is pansexual, but kind of leans more towards girls, or pansexual, but they're also demi, and this is kind of what they need, and blah, blah, blah. It's letting your character speak through you. And I think, again, to come back to how similar we are as role players, I feel like that is very, that is a common experience for both of us.
I usually, whenever I'm making a character, I always assume that they are open to anything at the very beginning until they give me a sign. Once they give me that sign, I'm like, dig right into that. For example, my first basically openly gay character being Nemric, like he was very much like in the, no, I can understand like other things. I get it, but looking over toward Tag. And like there are many different things going on in my brain. For example, I didn't know until literally as we're talking about this right now. You never knew me playing Malaclips?
No.
But do you know in D&D what's called a potion of longevity?
Yes.
This showed up in Fate. This showed up in the Fate campaign, and nobody was going to use it. This cool potion that I've always heard about through all my D&D career, and nobody was gonna do it. And in my brain, I immediately thought back to the Incinerator game, which was the first showing of Malaclips in the media. And in that game, at the very end, he took this Ifriti lamp from everyone because in his thoughts of like, this can solve all my problems. And he immediately was like, I'm gonna use this, I'm gonna figure this out. Didn't end up going anywhere, but it's something that he did do. And so I had to rationalize myself of like, would Mal take this or use this? And in his brain, he doesn't understand magic, he doesn't understand these things, and in my heart of hearts, I'm like, I'm never gonna get another opportunity to do this potion.
You gotta. It's one of those where it's like,
so I did.
Fuck it, we ball.
I immediately drunk it down, and after I did it, hearing some of the things from people who were watching the game, some of the things that I never even thought of at the time, because all I want to do was drink the funny potion. Some people were like going like, kind of making it weird. But whenever I did it, I was so happy. And then I'm like, that's what I want to do for my next character. I want to play a character who is very much in the nobody can question that it's in their nature to do something like that. And that's where Quintus was born. In that moment, I just realized, literally talking to you, that is where Quintus was born. Me wanting to make a character that could take these situations and turn them into a thing of, well, I'm gonna do that.
Yep.
Like a lot of other things going into it, but I'm just now realizing that was the moment where I'm like, I want to have a character that I can basically live out my D&D fantasies with. I want to play a character that if something like this happens again, where something in front of me is something that I as a player want to do because I've either heard so much about it or I'm personally interested in it, like I want to be able to convince myself that I can do it without like having to jump through any hoops. So that's where Quintus was born, and I'm very happy I ended up going with that. I'm very happy. I never regret any decision I make as a character. That's what they do. There are certain things where I'm like, I wish they might have turned out a little differently, but I don't regret me doing the things I did.
Yeah.
So I'm never gonna regret doing the thing I did as Malaclips, but I did have to justify it, if that makes any sense. Like I did have to, in my brain, take like 5 minutes to justify what I was doing and sort of stretch it, you know?
No,
and I never wanted to do that again. And that's why I'm very happy that Quinn is one of my long-running characters too, but we're never playing him again. But I'm glad that he's one of my long-running characters, because that is one thing that I love about him. Funny thing, he is also the only character in the entirety that I could ever think of that would turn down deck of many things.
I know, that's still insane to me, and it's so funny that your fucking thing in Princes is the deck. I'm like, I feel like Aaron did this on purpose.
Oh, whenever we were talking about, like, we always knew it was gonna be something, and then we brought up the deck, and we were both just like, that has to be it.
It has to be, and it's created such fucking
I wonder if he regrets it. I wonder if he regrets it. I don't know. I wonder if he does, though.
Part of me doubts it, because it's Aaron.
Yeah, Aaron
and he's
loves
got
it.
Such
Aaron
a
loves
fuck it
when
we
those
ball.
things happen.
And I love it. I love his fuck it we ball energy. He's
Wonderful
also why
questions.
I started. He's also why I started just rolling off tables for character stuff because I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck it, it's fun. I love tables. That's how I ended
it
up with some of
helps.
my shit in like Jonah's campaign. Is that I was like, Jonah's like, okay, what's the personality of this character in your life? I'm like, Jonah, do you want to roll off personality tables and just go from there?
You
So,
never.
It's so
you never
fun.
You never fully make a character with those, but they super help whenever you're wanting to flesh the character out.
Oh yeah, like I love giving them silly traits from it. It's fun
Yes.
because it's like, yeah, maybe this character is a little fucking quirky. So I'm excited to do more of that. But all right, we got 2 more questions here.
2 more questions.
Yeah, 2 more questions. So I'm gonna ask one for you, and then I'll ask the last one for both of us.
Okay.
Hey, Nemric also doesn't have
Hi.
a last name, but I guess this will do. Pillow Princess.
That's my legal last name.
You know, that makes sense. That makes sense.
I gave it to myself though.
No, still makes sense. That Tagachi, huh? Well, anyways.
This is a great question.
Right? I had a feeling you'd like this one. Well, anyways. Apart from the ice-cold daddy in service to the Crystal Queen in your brief time away from the... I love Tag for a different reason, but I love Tag. Tag's hot, though. Hayden can be like, Tag's hot. I know he's married, but like, so...
But is he still married?
I mean, there's a shot. Apart from the ice-cold daddy in service to the Crystal Queen, in your brief time away from Phlegathos, has there been any other personal catch that tarnished any... This is written poorly. I'm sorry. So, anyone else catch your eye, Nemric? That's what they're asking. Anyone else, like, hey, yo, what's up? Anyone that Nemi Poo's been looking at? Or has it just been our sweet, sweet ice daddy?
It's really interesting because I don't think so. When it comes to Nem, like obviously it's usually all business, right? So whenever he was doing his stuff before for them for Fierna, it was all business. But Fierna in this instance, for some fucking reason, tells Nemric it's okay to be you. It's okay to not like sneak around. It's okay to just be out in the open. And he's never had that before. According to like what Logan told me, for some reason Fierna just gave him a lot of like autonomy in this one thing. So I think before all of this, he was putting on too many masks. He didn't really have anything that really jumped out at him. He treated everything like it was a job. But in this scenario where he's finally putting himself out there, he's very much like this is the first time he's ever had to like get a feel of other people, like for truly.
Yeah. Welcome to the highest standard, bitch.
Exactly, when it came down to it, Tag happened at a perfect time. Nobody else really jumped at him as far as like a romantic interest while he was there at the very least.
What? I said, what?
Again, it comes from the fact of I didn't really know what he was looking into until Tag showed up. So like there wasn't really another person that could have had that happen. Miriam to an extent, but at the same time, when it came to Miriam, he knew that was his primary target.
Yeah.
So it was also more of a business thing there. When it came down to any of the girls, obviously I felt very, very strongly that he was gay, so there was nothing there. And most of the guys there were terrifying. So he was not involved in that at all. And once he came out, the only other person he met was Quinn for 5 minutes. And probably not gonna happen. Definitely would have been like, who the fuck's this Quainus guy?
Even I'm gonna tell you to stay away from that one, buddy.
So yeah, no, I don't think that there would have been anything. I think that there's always the potential that he could find somebody else that isn't Tag. But I don't think that there is anything immediately. Nah, there wasn't nobody else that he got an eye of.
Makes sense. Also, I should reiterate or rephrase. The question's not written poorly. There's just no punctuation in sight. So it made it really hard to read. I was reading it over. I'm like, oh my god, we need like 5 commas. Oh my god. Okay. It's just because there was no punctuation that my eyes just went, wah. But yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense, especially if this is the first time he's had autonomy.
Yeah. Like, I feel like in most other aspects, he was just the perfect little soldier, which is one reason why he was given the grudge knock, because that was what Logan said was like his present, basically, for good behavior.
Well done, buddy.
Well done. Here's an oath bow, but better in every way. Yeah, okay.
I bet. Say less, motherfucker.
Because an oath bow is already good. The grudge knock is so much better than a regular oath bow.
It's so good. I'm like, it's one of those where I'm like, I want to see those stats, bro. We got one more question.
For both of us.
And it's a good
For you
one,
and I.
For you and I. Who or what do you think your characters still fear and may have nightmares about to this day?
Fiona.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Avi, the day her mom left. And also now Velis.
Oh yeah.
And she has nightmares and fears about a lot of things. The top 3, I'll give a top 3, is the day her mom left, and I will elaborate on that because it came up in Honokuni, and I don't think anyone caught it, caught what it was about, and we're far enough away from it that I'm willing to say. The second one is the day when the whole Vestius was crystallizing everything because of the fucking weapon. Losing Rory that day. That is still a huge thing for her. Made her hold on even tighter. And then now Velis. And I think she will forever have nightmares about the feeling of him crawling out of her skin. That was the big thing for her. It was so violating. And it's not just that he possessed her. It was how he exited the possession situation that fucked her up. That's
I love
what
that
it
you
was.
bring that up because I have a thing to say about that too.
Go for it.
Obviously, first thing is always going to be the hell. Like, and in that sense, Fierna. Quinn is never, I don't think, ever going to get over that.
I would be surprised if he did.
And the idea, again, because I know he slept. He had to have slept in that time he was there. But my headcanon was he always was looking over his shoulder. He never trusted that he was safe there. And in his mind, he legitimately probably thought he was never getting out. That was something that he probably eventually thought until he made that bargain that seemed to work out. Because again, if he didn't, he would not have been able to get out. But there was always that. Other than that, oddly enough, the idea of finding sorry, one sec.
It's all good.
The idea of oddly enough, the dream sequence with seeing his mom. Whenever that happened, and whenever we had that thing at the end of that session, the whole like crystallization thing, it's gonna haunt him for one reason, and that is he didn't remember it. He didn't remember anything about his mom until that situation happened, and he doesn't know why. And whenever he saw that he was there, little him was there during that situation, and he could not recall that. Not only that, but he didn't remember what his mom looked like at all. Is always going to be something on Quinn where he's always going to be thinking about it. Less of a fear and more of a like an obsession almost I think he's gonna have for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, again, less of a fear, more me worrying about this than Quinn, but Quinn to an extent. Hearing everybody else's things with Velis and Quinn not having that happen.
Yep.
Is always kind of going to be on his mind, and he's never going to bring it up.
That's valid, though.
He will never bring up the fact that he wishes that he felt Velis leave. Because in the back of his mind, he's gonna think Velis is still there. Because of what he knows from Miriam and from what he knows from Raleigh, the fact that they just acted normally for most of the time that Velis was there, there's always gonna be a thing of am I Velis?
Yeah,
and
but it's also like, but if he's having that thought, that's how you know. But at the same time, Logan could absolutely fuck with us.
That's why it's more me than Quinn. Because my fear is that Logan just isn't telling me. Because that's something I would do.
Yep.
It's something where it's just like, in order to make me act the most normal as I possibly can, he isn't telling me that Velis is there. Because obviously, him not being able to get to me because of what I am makes sense, right? It makes somewhat sense, but that could also just be a ruse.
Mm-hmm.
That could also just be a ruse, and like the fact that Quinn like didn't feel him like and is gonna hear from both Vogan and from Avi like this feeling. He's gonna be like, I never had that feeling.
Yeah, but you're also a fucking weird idomancy bitch.
Yes. Again, it makes sense, but it's always going to be in the back of my and to an extent his mind. He is hoping beyond hope that it is not there, and he is going to think of it very little because all of his friends need him to be better. You mentioned earlier the thing where losing Rory during the crystallization thing. And I've already talked to you about how when that really affected Quinn in the Sword of Damocles. Whenever Avi was really worried, Quinn immediately, unlike before, whenever he's like, I don't know, I don't have the words for you, immediately said words. He's like, I'm not having that happen again. So he knows for a fact that if he has these worries or if he voices them like this, it is not going to help anyone.
Yeah, but he should, though.
He should. He's not gonna.
I'm the player of Avi. I get that.
He 100% should, and maybe he'll voice them later, or maybe he'll just turn out to be Velis. But
who fucking knows, man?
But like the thing that changed him the most as far as him and Avi's interactions ever was that. The fact that he couldn't help Avi in literally one of the worst moments of her life is always going to be on his mind, where he's like, no, I need to be better than that. I need to be able to be the rock for them when they need it.
Yeah, because she lost her rock. He became a rock.
And then as soon as it happened to the Sword of Damocles, again, he has the answers. He has the things like, you should go back, or we're gonna be fine, or everything's gonna be fine, and he believes them. Whether everybody gets out of it is a different story, but he's like, no, we're the highest standard. We're gonna figure this out no matter what. And that is what he wishes he could have told Avi back then, is we will figure this out. We are the highest standard. We will fix this no matter what.
Oh yeah, and it's part of the reason she started to respect him a little bit more. Like, she still has her issues with him, and there's a lot of deep-seated stuff for her as to why, but also just like the respect is growing on her side. She's starting to see, it's like, okay, maybe he is growing. Maybe he's not so bad. So that's starting to brew.
And then he walks up and goes, hey guys, look what I can do. And then something weird happens.
Yeah, and it's like, God fucking damn it, never mind.
And I don't think he's as worried about the hell thing anymore after what happened to the Sword of Damocles, because again, I had the thing where he was like potentially going to be very afraid of going to hell if he died before the Sword of Damocles stuff. But then as soon as it happened in the core where it's like it needed somebody to basically sacrifice themselves for it, he's like, no, I think I can do this. I think I can do this. And he had to overcome that a little bit to do that, and I'm very happy that he did, because I did not want him to worry about both Fierna and Velis at the same time.
Oh my god.
He's already gonna kind of have to, but like it's so much better of him to not have to worry about that right now.
Yeah, god. Oh. Well, that's our last question, but before we wrap, I want to say the thing.
Do it.
So, when we were, I don't know if you remember this, when we were fighting, it was the first, it's when we were fighting Tribulation, and, you tell him, Apollo, it's when Nemric got vaporized, but during that fight, Avi had gone down and, like, tumbled off the roof, and then it's when she was deep in her shit of, mid-fight with Fenris, she felt completely ostracized from the group. She was seeing herself in Honokuni. She's like, I belong here. And she was deep in all of her, like, some of her deepest fears. She was away from her best friend. She felt like she was losing these people she had started to feel a connection to. She felt so fucking alone, and it was bringing up all of her fears and, like, her stuff around her mom. It was all around her. All these yokai were around her, and she's like, fuck, I fit in here. When she woke up from, like, when Miriam healed her and got her up, and she shouted, don't go, that is a persistent nightmare. That was her calling out for her mom. And I haven't said that, but I'm like, it's been long enough. And this question made me think about it. That was her calling out for her mom, asking her not to go. It has been 21 years.
Wait.
Avi's been looking for her mom for 21 years, and that still haunts her. That moment, waking up and her mom being alone and her mom gone, that is still a consistent fear and nightmare for her. And I was like, here's the perfect place to touch on it.
Oof.
Happy fun times. I love playing
I
Avi.
cannot wait to learn more about your mom. I cannot wait to learn more about my mom.
I love our mom stuff. Dude, I feel like that's going to be so much of the Land Away. Because the person Avi's mom used to work for is there. He is the family member. War profiteering.
Let's freaking go. I knew that was
I have some Avi Quinn shenanigans in my brain that I will touch on when we get back to it. It's going to be so good.
I really cannot wait. I hope that obviously we have the moments of Avi being like, oh god, nobility, and like, you know, Quinn, like, you know, kind of doing other things. But I also really cannot wait for, and I'm decently sure we're gonna do some level of it. I cannot wait for us to completely fuck over this system.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be excellent.
Because Quinn is already at a point, and I've already mentioned this on a couple of occasions, he's already at a point where he's about ready to just be like, Dad, Unk, I'm not gonna do this whole being the head of the family thing right now, and if you are that worried about me finding an heir, make one yourself.
Yep.
And then we're gonna finally see the true colors of if there's a reason behind that or not.
Oh, I can't fucking wait. I'm so
my main thoughts, and again, this is if the whole Quinn uncle is evil thing is confirmed or not, or, you know, has some kind of agenda. My thought is they want some kind of still connection to his mom. My thought is that they know what Quinn is, and they just been holding it back, and they're like, we need to keep whatever that blood is alive. That's my thought, at least, for things.
I've thought on that, and I'm like, that feels correct in a lot of ways.
And that might give me a thing of why the mom thought she had to leave. Because, like, maybe they were thinking of, like, somewhat abusing that power in some way. I don't know. We'll have to see. And that's only if, obviously, everybody around Quinn is super, like, evil or, like, controversial in some way.
Oh, I have so many fucking theories about that, but I'm like, I'm holding on to all of them until we get back to Vestige, because I'm like, I got some.
There's also a part
in my
of
brain.
There's also a part of me that hopes that we get an entire Shrek 2 thing in the Land Away, where they somehow convince Quinn to stay around or stick around and do something, and then you guys have to run in to I Need a Hero to save the princess that is Quinn.
Let's fucking go, Princess Quinn. Let's go. I'm down. Oh no, you'll have to kiss Rory. Anyway. On that note, that is all the time we have for today.
Do you want to let the teenies know where they can find you, Cody?
You can find me over on the Summoners Network. It is the Twitch channel where I do all of my different role plays and such. We are currently ending our Zelda campaign. I know I've said that like a couple of times on Wits and Crits at this point.
I get that.
But we are ending that probably by November, and we're starting up a Fate campaign next, and that's going to be super fun. Not only that, but in the month of October, for the one big announcement that I do have, we are doing a horror campaign every Sunday instead of our Yu-Gi-Oh campaign. And we are it is a sequel to a campaign I once did with Logan, Carrie, Maddie, and Emerald. Only this time it will not have them in it, but it is Horror Resort #2, where it's like a slasher film in a ski resort kind of thing. It's gonna be very fun.
Ooh, that sounds fun. I'm so down.
Yeah.
That sounds real fun.
Heck yeah. Well, y'all should definitely go watch Cody's campaigns. They're super fun. I've tuned in a couple times. I tune in and I lurk sometimes. Yeah, of course I do. If you want more Hayden, which I guess that's a choice that you're making, and you know what? I'm not going to judge you for it. That is a choice. You can find me on Twitter at HeyBelleVoice. It's a lot of me shit posting or talking about anime that I'm in, things like that. You can also find me as Scylla Aria, the non-binary fairy finey. You can find me on Twitter.
You're Scylla Aria!
I am! That's crazy! You can find me on Twitch multiple times a week, streaming as my little fae. It's SYLLAARIA. And if you see posts on the Nat19 socials and things like that, hi, that's me. I know my cats really want my attention.
Go watch the non-binary fairy finey.
Go watch the non-binary fairy finey. We're gonna be doing my streamiversary here soon. I'm very excited. Cody's gonna be part of that, playing Forewarned with us. It's gonna be a good time. But thank you all so much for tuning in. If you want more Nat19, remember you can tune in Tuesdays and Wednesdays for streams with the cast. I guess not so much Tuesdays anymore. Never mind.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen until we start things. We're doing something tonight as well.
Okay.
Although it'll be yesterday for those who are watching the stream, and
True.
last week for those of you watching the VOD.
I won't be there. I wanted to be, but I'm teaching tonight. But you can tune in Tuesdays sometimes and Wednesdays for gaming streams with the cast, alternating with Wits and Crits on Wednesdays. On Tuesdays it is Cody, and then whoever the hell else wants to join. And then Wednesdays it is Chaos Crew with myself and Braden Alexander. We're finishing up God of War Ragnarok right now, and it's so good. Thursdays, every second Thursday we have Princes of the Apocalypse, DM'd by Aaron Robert Parnell. And then on Saturdays we have Gilligan's Grave, good old GG. And if you're interested in our merchandise or you want to know more about our team, you can visit us at our website, nat19show.com. That is nat19show.com. Thank you all, teenies. Thank you for tuning in. We much appreciate you, and thank you for all your wonderful questions. We love you very much.
Mwah.
Mwah, goodbye.